It's go time. Welcome to the show. It's go time. And I'm your host, Pat Holder. This is the podcast for salespeople, sales managers, and entrepreneurs that are in the trenches, knocking on doors, hammering the phones, talking to people to make a sale. Okay. This is the show for you. Okay. And so on today's podcast, okay, what we're going to be talking about is the tactics and strategies on how to get started in sales / okay, how to get out of a sales slump. Okay, because the principles are the same. The principles are the same. And like every episode, we start with a quote, all right, from an awesome book. This book is from Brian Tracy. Okay, he's a sales guru for 30, 40 years. All right, and he's got a great book. He's got all kinds of books. Got them lined against my walls right now. But this one in particular is called The Psychology of Selling. Okay, and this is on page 35. All right, and this paragraph is labeled "Failure is not an option." Failure is not an option. Don't you love it? I do. All right. And what he says is, it is critical that you back your sales efforts with willpower and determination. Decide now that you will not give up. When you resolve in advance that you will never give up, that you will be mentally prepared to bounce back from failure and rejection. Okay. When you continue to persist, no matter how difficult the situation is, you will eventually succeed. Okay. You will ultimately make sales and you will finally win customers. Oof. I wish I read that in my first few weeks of doing sales. Okay. That's awesome. All right. What a great paragraph. He's saying failure is not an option. Okay. When you have the determination and persistence. Okay. That's fantastic. All right. So if you're just getting started in sales, if you've been in sales for a long time, really any industry, okay, this show is for you. Okay. If you're trying to get back on track, if you're trying to increase your sales, all right, if you're trying to dominate or if you're trying to catch your break, I got a couple of great tactics for you that will help you today. If you lost juice, okay, if you lost juice in your business, oh my gosh, I'm not on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, I'm just not feeling it. All right, this episode's for you, okay? So we're just going to jump right into it, okay? So we're assuming right now that you are in the right sales position, okay? That you've got the right team around you, you got a great product, you're in the right industry. If you're not, then go back and listen to episode number 1, and that'll help you get the strategies and tactics to give you the best chance to land that job that you've been looking for that's a perfect fit, okay? That'll give you the vehicle to where it'll be a resume eliminator, as we said on the last episode. Resume eliminator, what does that mean? That it eliminates your resume forever, all right? So to where you never have to make a resume again, to where this is your last job ever. All right. That should be your goal. Okay. You know, wouldn't that be great? Okay. That this is your last job ever. Okay. And that you don't have to work it forever either. So we're going to jump right into it. The first thing is you got to commit. Okay. You must make a firm commitment. And that's what Brian Tracy is talking about here. When you resolve in advance that you will never give up, you will be mentally prepared to bounce back from failure and rejection. All right. When you continue to persist, no matter how difficult the situation, you will eventually succeed. All right. Isn't that amazing? You will eventually succeed. So no matter what you're going through right now, if you persist and you have some tactics that we're going to be talking about today, all right, you will win. You will succeed. Okay. So I know for me, and this may be true for you, that I had a ton of uncertainty when I first started. And as I was going through the deal as well, lots of uncertainty. I was nervous, right? I was scared. I was broke. I was having money problems, okay, to where I didn't know, like, I have to make a sale today or else I can't make my rent or whatever. Okay, that's not a fun feeling. And you do not want to be in that position in sales for a long time. Okay, you don't want to be in that position in life for a long time. Okay, so what do we have to do? We have to have the right strategies, the mentality, the work ethic, all right, to get ourselves out of that. Because here's the thing, ain't nobody going to come really help you and drop $1 million on you, okay, or 10 million bucks on you to actually save you, okay, because this is up to you. This is up to me. I need to take care of me, and you need to be taking care of yourself as well. All right. And sales is a fantastic way to do that as far as financial and time freedom. Okay. So, but the first thing is you need to start off. Okay. And if you've been in sales for a long time and you've lost the juice, okay, you need to have a commitment. a very, very firm and strong commitment that you're going to make this work. Okay. Because I promise you, like with all the uncertainty that goes into sales, like it will be fine. You will be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be all good. Okay. But how fast you go is determined on what strategies, tactics, and your work ethic that you put into this deal. Okay. So you need to commit. You need to have the burn the ships mentality. Okay. You need to burn the ships. Okay. If you don't know what that means, basically, legend has it that there were conquerors way back in the day, okay, that was invading a country or continent on ships, thousands of ships, tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 troops and horses and supplies. All right. And they land on the beaches or they land on the island or what have you, the continent. They dump all the troops. They dump all the horses. They dump all their supplies. And the first order the commander gives is, hey, guys, first order of business is we burn the ships. It's like, what do you mean, sir? We're going to burn all the ships that we just came in on? Yes, exactly. Because, hey, we're either going to win this war, we're either going to conquer this place, or we're going to die trying. Okay. And that is the type of mentality you need to have coming into your sales role. Or if you're already in your sales role right now, is like you need to reconnect with that type of fuel and fire. Okay. Is that you need to have the win or die mentality, because I can guarantee you, if you're not feeling it right now, you do not have that mentality. Let's just keep it real. Okay. I've been there hundreds and hundreds of times. Like, I am not feeling it today. I need to reconnect with my commitment. I need to reconnect with, hey, where am I going? Okay. And where you are going is upward trajectory. Okay. Increasing income. All right. Getting better at your job. Okay. Having better experiences with your clients and prospects. Okay. Even if you don't write them or sell them, better experiences, more positive experiences. Okay. So you need to have the burn the ships mentality. Okay. So, and you need to have the commitment that you're going to make it happen. Okay, that you're going to give this thing everything you got. Okay, that you're going to commit to domination. All right, to the best of your bit. Oh, well, I'm not the domination type of person. It's like, well, you need to at least move yourself in that direction. All right, is that you're going to make it happen. Okay, and then you're going to make a lot of money long term, because here's why would I want to do that, Pat? Like, I'm comfy. It's like, listen, hey, if you don't have that, there's too much dang adversity on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis in the sales and entrepreneurship realm, especially if you're a sales manager, to where if you don't have a firm commitment, then you're going to want to retreat. You're going to want to retreat often. All right. And especially in sales, you have all kinds of freedom. Okay. More freedom than most jobs. And then so you actually utilize that freedom, not utilize it, take advantage of that freedom. Okay. So you need to have a strong commitment with when all the adversity hits. Okay. When it's easy, it's like, if you're knocking on doors, come on in. I hope you're selling, the pest control, because we got bugs galore. And it's like, and you're selling pest control. Like, that'll happen, a lay down, as you call it, perfect timing situation, no objections. They're amazing. You're amazing. They love your price. They love your product. It's going down. Okay. You don't need a commitment for that. All right. But you do need a commitment when the adversity hits. All right. When the battle gets tough, when it starts raining and thunderstorming out there and you still got to go to battle. All right. And the rain and thunderstorms of life are going to happen. All right. So you need a firm and strong commitment that you need to connect with. So what are you committed to right now? All right. What are you committed to right now? Are you committed to making this thing the best job that you've ever had, that you're going to be the most successful person that you've ever been, ever, in any situation you've ever done? Is that your commitment? If not, you need to start moving in that direction. All right. So that's the first thing you must have, is you have to have a commitment, and you make a firm decision like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. Okay. Because I know for me, there's been lots of times where I've had a commitment and I'm like, I'm going to kill it today. And then by 2 p.m., I'm like, this job sucks. Right. Because of the adversity. And like, what I noticed is like, oh, I had the wrong, I wasn't really committed. I was just excited. All right. So you need to have that commitment that like, hey, I'm going to make this work no matter what. Okay. Now, an easy way to do that leads us to number 2, and that's be a student of the game. You must be a student of the game that you're in. Okay. If you're in solar, if you're in pest control, if you're on the car lot, if you're in real estate, if you're in insurance, okay, whatever else, if you're selling jets, whatever you're selling. Okay. Maybe you run your own business. Okay. You need to be a student of the game. It's like, how can I be most effective at my job, with my schedule, with my presentation? Hey, is my presentation as good as it can get? No, 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 no. There is no perfect. That's the beautiful thing about sales, is there is no perfect anything. There's no perfect day. Oh, there could be perfect days. You can have an absolute perfect day. You might have a perfect week, but you won't really have a perfect month, and you definitely won't have a perfect year. That's the beautiful part about it, is that there's always room for improvement. So you must continue to have the student mindset, the student mentality. Okay, you must study the game that you're in. All right. If you don't have the juice, if you don't have the fire, all right, that you once had or that you want to have, it's because you're not being a student of the game, because then you're curious instead of pissed off, right? So like, let's just say you go all day and you don't make a sale, and you usually make 5 sales a day, and now you're making 1 sale a week or whatever, right? It's like, I can guarantee you're not being a student of the game, right? Because you're just grinding your face, keep banging your head against the wall. It's like, oh, the next one's going to be mine. 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 And like, eventually you're going to be right. But you need to have the student mindset of like, okay, why did that not go as good as it could have, right? Like, I got halfway through the presentation, then they stopped me, right? Or I got all the way to close and everything was looking good, and then, something happened, right? Or they said something, I couldn't get around it, or whatever, right? So you need to be picking that apart. How do you do that? You stick with your tribe. If you've done episode 1 where you're in the right sales position, sales job, okay, then you got a good tribe around you. You got people that actually give a rat's patoot about your success, all right? And so you need to be asking questions constantly. Hey, can I ask you for your advice? That's the $1 million question. You go to the top producers, you go to the top people as high up on the food chain as you can get, or the hottest people that are going on right now. Like somebody who's been killing it for the last 3 months, 6 months, a year, last 2 years, who's just been on fire for a long, long time, right? Whatever, is you need to be asking them questions. Hey, real quick, Phil, can I get your advice? Okay, I got 2 questions. All right. So I had this situation today. So everything was going good. And then boom, she, at this point in the sales process, she hit me with this. And I don't know if I really handled that as properly as I should. What do you normally say to that? And then listen, write it down. Okay. You want to constantly be asking questions like that over and over and over again. Now, you don't want to be beating up. Here's the secret sauce right here, is you do not want to be beating up the same person with, 20 questions every day. Okay. I don't really mind it. Like if I got somebody who's like genuinely interested and like, hey, asking a bunch of questions, I love it. But there's only so many you can ask in a day. But you want to be asking the same questions, okay, to different people. That's it right there. So if you can be asked, so let's just say you have 3 questions, right? One's about an objection. One's like, hey, how do you keep showing up when you don't feel like showing up? And the other question could be, I don't know what another question could be. Let's see. What hours do I need to be running? Okay. How do I guarantee some success? All right. How do I dominate in this business? You need to be asking these questions over and over and over and over again to different people. Okay. Spread the love out. That way you're not beating up the same person, but they all need to be people that you would trade production with or trade income with. All right. That's the prerequisite. So if you do this over and over and over again, that will give you confidence out in the field, because now I know what to say when that person says that, and then I can move that deal one step further. Okay. And so you do this over and over and over again. A few beautiful things happen is you're going to make more sales. You're going to help out more people. You're going to put more of your great product in somebody's hands and solve their problem. All right. That's the first thing. The other thing is you're going to get somebody in your corner. You're going to get somebody in your corner. Okay. So let's just say it's a top producer. Okay. And they're the number one guy or number one gal. All right. And you're asking these questions, and then you're taking the advice, and then you're using the advice out in the field. All right. Then, you get the results based on that. They see that. You're coming back and saying, hey, I've used that thing that you told me to do, or I've been doing that schedule that you told me to do, right? Or I did that thing, that you advised me to do, and it's been helping. Thank you so much. Boom. High five, hug, whatever. Boom. You got a friend for life. Because how good does it feel when you help somebody out? And that's what you just made that person feel. Okay. So you're being a student of the game when you're doing these kinds of things. All right. And then you're also getting a friend in your corner. Okay. You're getting a friend in your corner forever. Okay. So you want to be rotating this along. Like for me, I had probably 12 people that I would like call frequently about these things. But I would pick up the phone. I'd ask somebody 3 questions. Hey, real quick. I know you're super busy, but hey, let me ask you just a couple of questions. Can I? Awesome. Thank you. Just some advice. Awesome. Boom. Thank you for your advice. I wrote some of that down. I'm going to use it next week. Thank you so much. Good luck. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Boom. Hang up the phone, pick up the phone, and then call the next person. Call the number 2 producer and be like, hey, can I get your advice real quick? Right? I just got a couple of questions from my day or from my week that I wanted to ask you. All right. So it could be on anything. Okay. It can be on what you're thinking about out in the field. It could be an objection. It could be, hey, your posture, my pitch, right? It could be all kinds of different things. My positioning. Hey, where am I sitting? If you're at a table and there's four seats and there's 2 people, there's a few different options on where you could sit. Okay. So ask that person, hey, where do you sit when you're doing this deal? Okay. Are you sitting next to him? Are you sitting across from you? Sitting to the left, sitting to the right, whatever, right? How close or how far away are you from this prospect? These things matter. And if you're talking to a top producer, they will tell you, oh, hey, I like to sit to the left, or I like to sit right next to him, or I like to sit right across from him. That's how I do it, or whatever. They will tell you, all right? Whether they've consciously thought about it or not, they will have an answer for you because they're a top producer, all right? So what'll happen is that your income and your production, after you take actions on their advice, your production and your income will begin to move in that direction. Okay. It might not be that day. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be next week, but I promise you, I can guarantee, put a it's go time guarantee on that is, hey, eventually, just over a several week period of time, like your confidence will grow. Okay. I guarantee you'll be standing up straighter. You'll be talking more confident, and you will be making more sales and helping out more people, and it'll compound. Okay. Because how good do you feel after you make a sale, or after you help somebody, or after you have a great interaction, or after you get over an objection that you've never gotten through? All right. So if you're just starting out, this needs to be about objections. No doubt about it. The objections, and your pitch. All right. Just be asking questions on that. Hey, how do you present somebody that? Okay. That sort of thing. Okay. So that's going to be the second one. It's going to be connect and ask for advice. Be a student of the game. All right. And the third thing is you have to outwork everybody. That needs to be your ultimate goal, that you need to outwork everybody. Okay. You need to be working like a crazy person. You need to be working your face off. You need to be going extra hours and extra days. Oh, I don't know, but I've got this thing every weekend that, hey, look, this is important to get good at this. Okay. Because once you start grooving in the principles and the practices, especially early on, you don't have to relearn them. Okay. You just have to be reminded of them, which is way easier than relearn it. Right. And so you're grooving in the great habits from the beginning. Okay. That's going to lead to your success long term, because they're always going to be there. Okay. They're always going to be there. But when you set the foundational target to being, hey, I'm going to outwork everybody. All right. So what is the top producer? What are their hours? Okay. Add a little 30 minutes on the afternoon, add a little 30 minutes in the morning to whatever their schedule is. Okay. You don't have to be the best to be producing the most. Okay. Because you can outwork people. All right. And beautiful things happen when you set that as an intention, is that I'm just going to outwork everybody. Okay. Hey, Pat, what do I do? How do I start? What do the best people do? Hey, man, this is what you need to do. You need to look around and look at everybody's hours, and you need to be outworking all of them. That's the first thing you need to be doing. First thing. Right? I know it's number 3 on our list here, but that's the first thing you need to be doing. It's like, hey, that's the intention, is I'm going to outwork everybody. Okay, great. Because that's quantifiable. If everybody does 9 to 5, then you should be 8:30 to 5:30 at least. Okay. So, because here's the thing, you need to be the person that people know gets after it. All right. You want to have that type of that thing on your resume. I call it an internal resume, right? Because we all have an internal resume to the company or team that we're on or that we're in. Okay. It's not a written thing. It's not nobody really even talks about it. But what it is that what kind of resume are you creating? Okay. Are you the guy that goes above and beyond? Are you the gal that asks a lot of great questions and actually takes action on it? Are you the one that stays out late and gets after it early? Right? Are you doing extra? All right. Are you eating the training videos like crazy? Right? So what kind of internal resume do you want to have from here on out? Think about it. Think about what you want that to be, because, hey, you want more people in your corner? Think about that. Okay. Think about that. So when we're doing these things, okay, you need to be making sure you're asking all kinds of questions. All right. You need to be training your face off. Again, if your company has training videos, you need to be eating them alive, to where eating the training videos, right? Every single day on repeat in your car, in between sales calls, in between appointments. If you're driving around, if you're door to door, you're walking on lots of sidewalks and lots of roads and lots of lawns and dodging dogs. God bless you. Right. Been there. Right. So you need to be listening to these things often. And like all the time. Like, and I can guarantee if you're not making the income that you want, these three things are not on your priority list, are they? So sometimes we have to take a genuine look in the mirror and be like, hey, I need to make a shift. All right. It might not be the job. It might not be the industry. It might not be your manager. It might not be this. It might not be the leads. It might not be that. It might be you. Okay. And it probably is, because we must take responsibility for the results that we're getting. Because when we blame other things, we ain't got a solution. Okay. We must take responsibility for all this stuff. Okay. So think about that. Going through your day, constantly be listening to training videos, ask a ton of questions, outwork everybody. Okay. Make sure your commitment is intact. Okay. Connect with the teammates that are winning big. Just hang out with the top producers more. All right. That'll help. I promise you that. Just start hanging out with them more and hanging out with the lower producers less. That'd be a good strategy as well. All right. And then the third thing is you want to be outworking everybody. Okay. You want to be outworking everybody. Be that person. I'm giving you full permission to be that person. Be that guy. Be that gal. Okay. To be going the extra mile on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. There's no reason not to. I don't care what kind of excuse that you have, because I've used that excuse and it's not a real excuse 98% of the time. All right. So I hope this helps. That's all we had for today on episode 2. All right. We got a good one for you next week as well. On episode number 3, we're going to be talking about $1 million habits. Okay. Because what we're doing here with this podcast is this is a journey from start to finish. Okay. On the sales strategies and tactics on how to produce more, how to earn more income. All right. How to have more money and to retire as early as possible. So you don't have to have a job. All right. For the rest of your life. Okay. That's the ultimate goal for me. And if you're here, I can guarantee you that's your ultimate goal as well. Okay. More time off and earn more money. Okay. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. Again, It's Go Time. We'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.